Cancer! What's happening? What's crack-a-lackin'? And what's poppin', baby? It's your boy for CancerMoonsTarot coming at you guys with your July 2020 low tarot reading. I hope you guys are well. If so, let me know down in those comments down below. Keep in mind this reading is general. If it resonates, that's awesome. And if not, it's not your message. Feel free to check out any other amazing tarot readers that we got here on YouTube, okay? These messages may resonate backwards or vice versa. So take them how they resonate if they apply to your particular situation. If you guys would like, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, which is all linked down below, and you guys can also check out my sister and her boyfriend's YouTube channel. That is the first link in the description if you guys want to take a look into my family's life. Nonetheless, my beautiful Cancers, I want to wish you guys a very happy birthday, as we are now officially in Cancer season. My birthday was yesterday, so little happy birthday to me, but also a huge happy birthday to you guys. I hope you guys are looking at a fantastic season, and I do want to note a couple of things before we get into the reading. So I'm sure many of you guys are aware, but currently Mercury is in retrograde, and it is retrograding in our sign, in the zodiac of Cancer. Now, Mercury retrograde began officially, I believe, on June 18th, and I do believe on June 12th, or July 12th, excuse me, Mercury will go direct. So yes, June 18th, Mercury retrograde had begun. June 2nd is when it entered pre-shadow. And then moving forward on July 12th, I believe it goes direct, and then you have the after shadow period, so on and so forth. Now, I will say, for those of you that have Mercury placements or in Cancer, okay, are definitely going to feel this retrograde more. Because if you have a Mercury placement in Cancer, chances are while Mercury's in retrograde in Cancer, you're going to kind of feel double the effect, especially if you have more than one placement in Cancer. So for those of you here that are feeling the depths of Mercury retrograde, I want to let you guys know that even though it may be something that's intense, even though it may bring up memories that are very difficult to process or certain emotions that are very difficult to confront, they are there for a reason, and they're there for you to work through them. So anything that's coming up during this current period, I want you to know that you're meant to work through it rather than resist it and bury it deep inside. This is the time to no longer bottle things up. This is the time to really make peace with yourself in things that you have gone through and things you've experienced. And it's really time to make peace in general so that as we can move forward through this period, we could release all the things that no longer serve and the things that still continue continue to weigh us down. So, nonetheless, my beautiful Cancerians, let's get on into it and see what messages we got coming through. All right, messages for Cancer here. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs throughout July 2020. What messages do we got coming through for Cancer here? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs throughout July 2020. What do we got going on? Messages for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs throughout July 2020. All right, my Cancer gang, let's go ahead and take a look, man. Let's see what we got going on. Cancer, the overall energy for you guys here is the Devil card, so you can be connecting possibly with a Capricorn. It does feel that as of lately, your energy may have not been in the highest of spirits. It does feel like there has been a lot of things bothering you and triggering you, so on and so forth. It does feel like you've been kind of binded to a lot of negativity lately, and specifically when you look at the Devil card, you do see these two people kind of binded by a chain, so you may feel binded to another person. You may feel like there is this energy of you being stuck with someone, but besides just that, the overall energy is feeling pretty binded towards negativity. Now, stepping into your current energy, you do have here the Page of Wands. Cancer, I do feel like you've been downplaying your feelings quite a lot. I don't feel like you have actually been admitting and being honest with yourself that you are in a negative place, and I feel like you're going to come to that confrontation with yourself shortly. You're going to recognize that moving into July, that you are not necessarily happy 100% of where you are. And by the way, if this message does not resonate and you are living your best life as a Cancer, don't apply it to you, okay? Remember, man, tarot readings can resonate directly to you, or they can have nothing to do with you. So if it doesn't apply, do not add that to your life. But for the Cancers that this does resonate with, or potentially will resonate with in the future, from what I'm seeing so far, it feels like you've kind of been downplaying what you've been going through. It's almost as if you haven't been acknowledging that you're not that happy, that you're not in the best place, that you're not in the best spirits. And sometimes we can downplay that because we don't want to deal with that pain or that negativity. But the most important thing is that we do have to confront our emotions in the end. Now, taking a look at who you're dealing with here, we do have here the Knight of Pentacles, okay? You could be connecting with an earth sign here, possibly Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. I feel like who you're connecting with here is the other version of yourself. the part of you that craves stability, the part of you that craves to go on this energy of being stable and going with the flow. You want to move yourself out of the sadness. You want to move yourself out of the negativity and ultimately put yourself on a slow and steady pace back towards happiness. I do feel for some of you here, you may be disappointed during this time because you've recognized that you've put in so much work for your own happiness and you're like, why do I feel like I've taken one step forward and 1,000 steps backwards? You may feel like you've gone through a whole journey of working on yourself and finding contentment and finding happiness, and then it's like, whoa, the retrograde comes and holy shit, everything kind of changed. It's almost like there's a part of you that wants to go back to the past when you were more happy than how you really are now. And you're going to be coming to that confrontation with yourself where you recognize, shit, like I have not really been in my best of spirits. And I've been kind of denying a lot of the negativity I've been surrounding myself with, but it feels like you've been indulging in a lot of negativity. And that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes we can't really help it. Sometimes there's just so much shit that's going on and we get so over fucking whelmed that we fall into that negative place. And it is our duty and our responsibility to pull ourselves out of it. But in order to do that, we got to take the first step, which is accepting where we're at, you know? So the outcome that's present here is the Five of Cups. I feel like right now, in your present moment, you're not super happy. But what's behind you is the fact that you can change. The Two of Cups. Because when you look at the Five of Cups, this man is grieving over the Three Cups that have fallen. Grieving over the joy. There's no more joy in my life. There's no more happiness in my life, right? But behind him is the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups talks about personal, deep, intimate connection. And not just personal, deep, and intimate connection with other people, but personal and deep, intimate connection with yourself. And that's where you kind of have to go back to. You got to go back to yourself. And you got to work through these things. And you have to be honest with yourself and figure out why you haven't been in your best spirits. Why you've been indulging in negative things. Why have you been downplaying your emotions? Why do you crave stability or crave going back to a moment when you were happier when you can therefore do the work now and get yourself there again? The truth about life is that it's an ongoing journey. You know, feelings are temporary. You're not always going to be sad and you're not always going to be happy. Feelings are incredibly fucking temporary, and that's just the truth of the situation. Life will have its up and down moments, but when there are those down moments, what can definitely help you is having a positive attitude. Because there's a big difference between positivity and happiness. Positivity doesn't mean you're a happy person. Positivity means that you will stick with a positive mind through the dark times in order to lead yourself to happiness. And we do need a positive mindset here to move forward and break through this negative cycle that you're a part of in July 2020. With a positive mindset here, Cancer, we can really transmute these energies and get yourself back to a stable place, which I feel is what you're craving, is that stability within yourself. So we got a lot here going on. So what I'm going to do here, Cancer, is I'm going to take a look and see what we got going on, all right? I'm going to take a look at the side of what it is that you want and the side of what it is that you're currently going through. So we're going to take a look at what you're currently going through first, and then we'll move forward with the rest of the reading, okay? So throughout July 2020, what energies is Cancer currently facing? What energies is Cancer currently going through, please? Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Throughout July 2020, what is Cancer currently facing, and what energies is Cancer going through throughout July 2020? First card out here is the Three of Cups. What's interesting about the Three of Cups is that when you look at the Five of Cups, you got the Three of Cups knocked over, and in this card, you got them standing high, loud, and proud. So from what it is you're going through, it does feel to me that you're going through a big mix of emotions, but you're putting on a happy face for other people. Like, you're not putting on a happy face for yourself because it doesn't feel true. It feels like you're putting on a happy face for other people. As if, like, you don't want people to see your pain. Yeah, the world. You don't want the world to see your pain. That's it right there. So, Three of Cups. How does, and here's the thing, too. What I've noticed about Cancers. Cancers don't always like when people know that they're sad. You know, some Cancers, people will say love to, you know, be comforted, this, that, and the third. But the way I see it, especially being a Cancer, is that Cancers love to comfort other people. Cancers usually put their feelings last and put everybody else's feelings first. And, you know, most of the time, we don't even take care of our own feelings. You know, that's why you got to take care of your feelings, Cancer. Nonetheless, though, Three of Cups and the World card, you don't want to show the world that you're sad. You don't want to show the world that you're in a negative place. You don't want to show the world that because you can't even accept that within yourself. It feels to me that that's why you've been so resistant, and that's why you've been downplaying your pain, because it's almost like this part of you is kind of ashamed that you've done so much work to get to such a happy place, and then now that you're not there anymore, it's like, wow, did I do all my work for nothing? So I feel like you're showing the world that you're in a good place right now, but truthfully, it doesn't feel like you are. Taking a look at the next card that we got here, it is the Lovers card, okay? You could be dealing with a Gemini, or you may be a Gemini Cancer cusp. With the Lovers card here, you have so much love to spread and share to everybody else, but you don't feel like that energy is super reciprocated. I do feel like for some of you Cancers, one big thing that you may be dealing with in July 2020 is the feeling of people using you, the feeling of people taking a lot from you when you don't give anything back, or when they don't really give much back in return. Because Cancers have very, very big hearts. You guys give as much as you possibly can. And I feel like you have been giving to so many people for so damn long, and you haven't really got a dime back in return. It feels to me that you're very tired of that. You know, yes, you have a huge heart. Yes, you guys are big lovers, but at the same time, you got to bring back that balance and reground yourself in your life. Okay, we got here Four of Wands, we got here Nine of Cups, and then we also got here the Two of Wands, excuse me. So, with the Four of Wands here to the Nine of Cups, I feel like you're just trying to keep others happy, even if you can't keep yourself happy. This is the energy of, well, if I'm not happy with myself, at least I can make others happy. So like I said previously, I do feel like you're covering up and downplaying your pain, and you're also kind of distracting your pain by taking care of everybody else. And that kind of leads you to a crossroads, Two of Wands. That kind of leads you to a position of being stuck on focusing on your healing or focusing on cleaning up everybody else's shit. And I think that in the end, who's more important, Cancer? Yourself, to be very honest with you. Moving forward, we got here the Four of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. And in the end of the day here, Cancer, what you're really looking forward to is stability. What you're really looking forward to is having a positive environment around you instead of indulging in a negative one. But as of recently, it feels like a lot of negativity has been coming up. And with all the negativity that's been coming up, you've been indulging in it because it seems like that's one of the easiest things to do. So I don't know exactly, Cancer, what's making you feel so negative, or what's making you feel like so down or so in a sadder kind of place. I'm not sure exactly what's taking you there, but a big reason that might be making you feel this way could be the fact that you feel like you have so much care for everyone, but you don't feel as if everyone has so much care for you. You may feel as if you are doing way more than overextending your boundaries. You may feel like you are going above and beyond for people and you're not getting that kind of return. And that may be very upsetting to you. And if you are upset over that, your feelings are validated. Dude, when you give 100% and somebody else gives you barely 25 or barely 50%, that's a really shitty feeling to feel. And I don't blame you guys for the way that you feel. But nonetheless, though, Cancer, from what I see here so far, sorry about that, didn't mean to move the camera, but from what I see here so far, Cancer, truth be told, I think you're just hiding your pain because it's an easier thing to do rather than to explain it, considering that you haven't really explained your pain to yourself. See, now, if you had a whole conversation with yourself, Cancer, and really understood why you've been in a negative place, why you felt so binded and attached to negativity lately, if you've had that conversation with yourself, it might be easier to talk to somebody about it. But if you don't even express it to yourself or process it first within yourself, how could you express that to anybody else? So it seems easier to put on a fake smile rather than get somebody to understand you. And I see 110% where you're coming from. Okay? I do see that. I do. Now, taking a look at what Cancer wants here throughout July 2020, let's take a look. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs throughout July 2020. What does Cancer want when it comes towards their overall mental health? Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs throughout July 2020. What is it that Cancer overall wants? First card out is the Hierophant. You want to be understood. And that's the thing with the Hierophant. Acceptance. For some, this could be social acceptance, because the Hierophant can resonate with social gatherings, okay? It could resonate with, you know, like, for example, for some of you, this could have something to do with school, or if you're younger or something like that, you want to be accepted by your classmates or something. But with the Hierophant card here, though, as a whole, it's wanting to be socially accepted, meaning that you want to be accepted by others, not just accepted by yourself. So I do feel for some of you here, there may be some of the negative things that are coming up that you may be binded to is the negative ways that you feel about yourself. I mean, looking at these two people, there is a man, there is a woman. So over here, you have the divine masculine and feminine energies. And if you guys know, divine masculine and divine feminine energies live within everybody. We both have both of those energies. So some of you Cancers may be in a place where you're trying to accept yourself for who you are, but you're always binded to the insecurities that you may have, and that may be where your focus has been lately. You may feel like you've been focused on your insecurities and not fully accepting yourself. And Cancer, when you fully don't accept yourself, you're always going to feel like no other person can accept you. So that's why there's this insecurity or this fear of being accepted by everyone else. If you can't accept yourself, then you don't believe anybody else can accept you. So that's definitely something to look at working on throughout July 2020, because once a person fully accepts themselves and loves them 110% for who they are, then you don't give a fuck about anybody else who accepts you or not, okay? So yeah, with the Hierophant card coming out here, what you're looking for, what you want, is some social acceptance. I do feel here too, the second card we pulled was the Two of Swords. I do feel like you're looking for direction as well. You're looking for the direction that's going to help you push and get out of this negative place, but ultimately you're not sure how to do that yet. You just want to move forward. So I'm seeing that you want to get out of here. It's not like you want to be unhappy. It's not like you're trying to sulk in depression or sulk in your misery. I feel like you want to, make a change and you want to move out of this energy. But Eight of Swords, there's a lot of overthinking that comes into play. There's a lot of energies that comes into your happiness, right? We got here the Eight of Swords, the Sun card, and the Eight of Cups. So to me, it feels like you're not trying to abandon your happiness. You're not trying to abandon the opportunity to be happy. But when you're stuck inside your head and the negative thoughts that you're thinking about are basically overcrowding your mind, sometimes it's kind of hard to hear that one positive thought and listen to that one. But when I tell you, even in a mind full of negative thoughts and negative emotions, if there is one positive thought that crosses your mind, no matter how soft and how low that voice echoes in your head, listen to that voice. We got here the Sun card, and we got here the Eight of Swords. So with all that being said, if you feel like you've been in a space where your mind has been incredibly clouded by negativity, there will always be that tiny little voice in the back of your mind echoing that tiny little positive voice. Hold on to it as strongly as you can and listen to it, because those negative overcrowding thoughts and emotions are never the truth. The good things are always the truth. So with that being said here, Eight of Cups, don't walk away from the opportunity of listening to positive thoughts that come up in your mind. Walk away from all the negativity that overcrowds you, even though that is an incredibly difficult task. Moving forward, we got here Nine of Swords, we got here Two of Pentacles, and we got here the Chariot. Ultimately, what you're looking for here, Cancer, is a way to no longer avoid your pain, but release your pain. And I feel like you've been going back and forth on methods here with the Two of Pentacles of how to be able to do that. You've been going back and forth of trying to understand how to release your pain in a way that works and in a way where you'll actually move on. But truth be told, we're not going to be able to move on from our pain until we recognize what our pain is, why it is that we feel that way, and are we ready to let go of the emotions that come along with it? Are we ready to let go of the resentments that we may hold against ourselves or other people? Are we ready to not detach, but are we ready to release, what's been holding us back and embrace a newer and better and more positive mindset? Moving on does not matter in a certain type of time frame, right? Because there's no timestamp on healing, but moving on has to be a choice that comes solely and purely from you. So in order to be able to move on, nobody else can really guide you there but yourself. You have to make that decision to say, you know what? These feelings that I felt are not what I want to feel anymore. I'm ready to embrace some new sort of mentality, and you have to allow yourself to roll with the punches. So we've seen a lot so far during this reading, Cancer, absolutely. And it does feel to me that for quite some time, you have been downplaying the fact that you aren't super happy. You know, you've been showing the world that you're doing great. You've been showing the world that you're happy, but there's this part of you here that really isn't, and you've kind of been swaying away from confronting yourself. And I think that you're finally going to be confronting yourself about the negativity that you've been kind of involved with and about the sadness that you've been feeling. And as you confront yourself throughout this July, I think you are getting ready to make a difference. But you had to become aware first of how much you've been avoiding yourself in order to really recognize that you needed to confront yourself. Because I don't think you were super aware of how much you've been avoiding yourself. I don't think you've been aware of it. But you're going to be moving into July. You will be. You'll see how much you have avoided yourself, and it may not be an easy task. But the moment you see that and you confront your feelings, and you confront why you feel the way you feel, and you confront the fact of what it is you truly want, which is happiness, it's time to come up with a game plan. It's time to construct a game plan, and it's time to execute a game plan to get yourself back on track, to get yourself to that positive place that you were originally at before. And remember, life fluctuates. There will be periods where we're happy. There will be periods when we're fine. There will be periods when we're angry or sad. Every emotion we feel is temporary. So it's okay to be in whatever period you're in right now. All right? That needs to be accepted too. In regards to where energies are lining up for Cancer, let's take a look. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout July 2020. We got here the Empress, which is the divine feminine energy. The energy of stop. I gotta cut it off real quick. Cancer, stop nurturing other people. Nurture yourself. Nurture yourself first, then nurture others. I'm not telling you not to be a nurturing and loving person towards anyone else. You should be. But remember, you gotta put yourself first sometimes, and I don't feel like you always do it. So with the Empress card here, nurture yourself first, then nurture others. Okay? We got here the Queen of Cups. Confront your emotions, take care of your emotions. You are a very empathetic sign, and that is a beautiful thing. And you should be proud to be an empath, Cancer. So with the Queen of Cups here, nurture your emotions. And with the Magician card here, remember that whatever sort of life it is that you want to live, you can be able to live it. Remember and believe in the power of yourself. You are a lot more powerful than you think. If you feel like you're stuck somewhere, always recognize that there's a loophole to get out of wherever you feel stuck. For example, if you feel that you're binded by negativity, there's always an answer and a loophole and an opportunity to pull you out of that negativity and steer you into a different direction. For example, if you feel binded to negativity, how do you get out of that? Well, you be honest with yourself, first of all, about what it is you're feeling. Then you allow yourself to figure out why it is that you feel that way. And then lastly, you recognize that these feelings don't serve you, and it's time for those to be released, and it's time for a new mindset to be implemented. There's always loopholes in every sort of situation that we're in. So I need you to recognize your power and acknowledge your power and really start to embrace that power once again. Going back to originally what I saw earlier with the fact that some of you Cancers may not feel like you accept yourself fully, if you don't accept yourself fully, then how could anybody else accept you fully? Remember that it's always important to accept every inch of who you are and to embrace every inch of who you are. We are not perfect. We will never be perfect. Nobody on this fucking planet is perfect, not even the goddamn Pope. And that's a whole nother story. Okay? So Cancer, man, step into that power and that recognition of, I gotta be who I am. And guess what? If I haven't been happy lately, let me be honest with myself and say, man, I haven't been happy lately. Don't allow yourself to put on a show for other people. Fuck other people. It's not their life. It's not their show. It's all about you. So if you're not that happy, stand in that shit. Own that shit. And work on it. You know? And get to where the fuck you want to go, because you can do it. As for the outcome for my beautiful Cancers throughout July 2020, let's take a look here. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout July 2020. What is the overall outcome, please, for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs throughout July 2020? Boom. We got here the Seven of Wands. It's time to stand up for yourself. And pulling one more card, we got here the Seven of Swords. Ooh, baby, give me one more card. And we got here the Six of Pentacles. That's an interesting twist of an outcome. Cancer, Seven of Swords or Seven of Wands? The choice is for you to decide. Do you want to let yourself go with the Seven of Swords? Do you want to stay in the devil? Do you want to stay binded with your negativity and upset and unhappy? Or Seven of Wands, do you want to stand up for yourself, not allow anybody to take advantage of you, not allow anybody's opinions to be valid or matter towards you? Do you want to stand in who the fuck you are and represent who the fuck you are and stop giving a shit about what other people have to say? Do you want to implement a new mindset that's positive and really work through and confront your emotions and be a warrior? Do you want to keep fighting for your liberty and your happiness, or do you want to basically allow yourself to sink? The choice is yours. But ultimately, Six of Pentacles, wherever you want to go, you can be. Because Six of Pentacles is here to remind you that in life, wherever your energy goes, or wherever your attention goes, your energy flows. So overall, Cancer, very intense reading, but I think the outcome here is just here to remind you that the choice is yours. And I really do hope, by the way, by no means necessary, was I here to offend anybody or trigger anybody. The point, this reading was very important. There was a lot of messages in here for you guys, and I hope that you found it beneficial. I do apologize if I've upset anybody, but I'm here, man, for your highest good. I just want you guys to recognize that you're the one who has the power in this lifetime, and you can pull yourself out of any place that you feel stuck in, even if you feel like you're stuck in this negative mind. Just remember that you have to take accountability and responsibility for your emotional state and for the transformation of the emotional state that you're in. We always have to take accountability for ourselves to change and to shift and to thrive and move forward. So I wanted to make that known throughout this tarot reading here today, okay? But nonetheless, Cancer, even though it looks like an intense month, even though it is your birth month, sometimes we got shit that we need to confront, and honestly, in the end, this is all for your highest of good, and this is all to push you towards a place of happiness, a place of acceptance, and a place where you're not binded by negativity, but surrounded by immense positivity. So in the end, all this work you're doing, if you continue to do the work, will lead you to a beautiful outcome. So nonetheless, my Cancers, I really hope you guys enjoyed. I hope that this reading was beneficial for any of you and that it helped you out in any sort of way. If it did, please let me know down in those comments down below. Cancer, I'm wishing you guys a wonderful and amazing birth season. I hope you guys really enjoyed July 2020, and I will see you guys in your next video. Much love, my Cancer gang, and have yourselves a good one. Peace.